What are they doing? What are you doing? What's the most repulsive intro that I could do? The most annoying intro that will just guarantee the drop off in retention, like at this moment, like right at the beginning, like that horrible like drop off you see if you dare to go into the analytics tab of YouTube. Crikey. Just like the most disgusting, annoying, obnoxious, like irritating thing I could just do at the start. Like stop being random. Hello there, an unshaven Bacho greets you to talk about the latest Spongebob SquarePants movie. I believe it's titled Saving Bikini Bottom, a Sandy Cheeks movie. So it's actually a spin-off movie about Sandy Cheeks, the amazing character. I'm a lot like Ben Shapiro, so I'm just going to get right into the facts of this video. So, we're all asking the question, is this film good? Well, how do we answer that? Does it have any artistic merit? No. It might be entertaining to some. It really is whatever to me. It certainly doesn't add anything to anyone's life. It is needless Netflix fluff. It's really just an inconsequential movie overall, which is sad because it's the SpongeBob franchise and you don't really want people to make just mediocre, unessential pieces of crap out of such a beloved franchise. SpongeBob is something that's just got this zany creativity to it. It really is special, and for there to just be these cash grabs associated with this brand, it really sucks. Is there no once great franchise that will not get turned into something generic? Like, I don't think so.
Good morning, Bikini Bottom!
So this film is all centred around Sandy, for better or for worse. This is what this film's decided to do. SpongeBob is in it. He is like a prominent character as well, like the side character. There's a heavy emphasis on her Texan heritage, which sort of becomes the main gimmick of this film, and I was really just not interested in any of that. Like, this is always something that's been a part of Sandy's character, fair enough, but the film leans so heavily into it. Like, did we need this? Is this like something we needed to explore? And for how needless that all feels, like this is the direction we've chosen to go in, is it? Like, okay, great. It really does seem like a cash grab. I mean, it is a fucking cash grab. I know it is. But I can't say yet, I've got to justify. But we're really scraping the barrel here, where it's like, oh yeah, she's Texan, remember, let's make a whole fucking film about that. Like, oh, it's just insufferable, bloody hell. I know I'm like being miserable, but come on. They've taken like a silly, novel, little throwaway joke from the original series, where it's like, haha, it's a squirrel from Texas who lives underwater, and they've made it into this boring, overdone, milked gimmick. And as soon as the film started, I was sick of it. Like, what? Like, I don't give a shit about this. I'm being really cynical, but just on an objective level, this is a poor thing to base your entire movie upon. Like, these are some of the weakest of foundations for your narrative. And it is reducing Sandy. Like, I know she's a cartoon character from SpongeBob, but it's Sandy, man. Like, she touched the hearts of all of us as kids, didn't she? Like, it's gotta mean something. But they've made her this one-dimensional thing, and it's all about her being Texan. Like, that's not all she was. Like, I know it's a cartoon character. It's the Flanderization of Sandy. It definitely is. Like, just reducing her to, okay, a few basic traits, like, you know, what an AI would write down about a certain character. If you go, oh, describe to me Patrick Star with only 3 words, you think dumb, gross, oafish, whatever, likes ice cream, there you go. And now you get the same AI to write lines for Patrick based on those very, like, narrow factors. And it's the same with every character in this film, to be fair. Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Patrick again, just, I got nothing from all of you. You're just empty husks of, like, once great characters. And you don't have to be great anymore because it's been like 20 years since SpongeBob initially aired. Like, its time has definitely passed. We don't need more SpongeBob, but whatever. It's here, so I'm going to critique it. Fuck it. You guys don't know what to do with these characters. You don't know what to do with this franchise, like what stories you can do, because you just don't have that spark. You don't have the creativity. SpongeBob's time, it's done. It's over. When something is made like the original Star Wars or Back to the Future, that's an idea. That is something that was like formulated by a creative person at that specific time. It is just something from the 80s or 70s. It's not something that's supposed to be like perpetuated for years to come, unless there is something like really creative in doing that. Like say James Bond kind of has that creative reinvention of itself as the years go by, but that's done a bit more tastefully. But like Star Wars, those were films from the 70s, that was a story from the 70s of the 70s. Same with Back to the Future, same with Rambo or Rocky or whatever. SpongeBob, that was a cartoon, a cool idea from the mind of Steven Hillenburg, a spontaneous creation for that specific era, which was 2000s, early 2000s, maybe late 90s, probably late 90s, yeah.
What's happening?
Then later we meet Sandy's family. I'm not sure if these like characters have been in the show before because I'm not that familiar with recent SpongeBob lore. I'm like season 1 to 4 maybe at most. But we meet Sandy's family and it's that cliche of, yeah, now we're gonna meet this person's family and there are other squirrels and they're all goofy and they all have their weird quirks, like DreamWorks level fucking tropes for kids films.
Sandy, this is your family?
Yep.
And we'll help you get your friends back.
I am a miserable bastard, like bear that in mind, but there were so many moments during this film where I was like, oh, we're not doing this, are we? Meet Sandy's family, meet the whole bunch, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This isn't SpongeBob. I'm going to say that loads of times throughout this video. This isn't SpongeBob. But it isn't. It is not SpongeBob. It's not SpongeBob. And how dare you do this to my beloved family like that? Okay, SpongeBob, sponge knob in my ass. That's what it fucking felt like. Even apart from that, it was not a sponge because that would have been nice because it would have been soft. This was like some hard fucking one of the hard sponges. What, a piece of coral up my ass. If you're reminding me of fucking Madagascar 2, where it's like Ben Stiller's lion goes and meets his dad and he goes, "Dad, is that you?" And this fucking SpongeBob film, and SpongeBob, by the way, which is like the cartoon equivalent of avant-garde storytelling. SpongeBob is something you can't put in a box. Like, it can't be recreated cynically like that. It's just, it was lightning in a bottle, one-of-a-kind thing. And for them to do like such a formulaic thing with this like IP, with this phenomenon, like, how dare you? Don't put these DreamWorks schlocky shit into this. Anyway, I'm not that mad, but I'm just kind of getting a bit like hyperbolic for the video because it's funny. I'm 25 years old for fuck's sake. I don't really give a shit about this fucking new SpongeBob film, but if we are talking about it, it is shit. It's not very good. But overall, it is quite sad to see these overdone cliches be inserted into this piece of fiction that kind of used to represent just pure mad creativity. Old SpongeBob was weird. It wasn't trying to be educational. There weren't really any morals to any of the episodes. There wasn't spouting any platitudes at you. It was just stupid, absurdist, near psychedelic stuff that did border on brain rot, perhaps. 2001: A Space Odyssey references, avant-garde sensibilities, existential themes.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
It is a timeless thing because it wasn't trying to be like anything else from its time, like any other cartoon shows. It was completely removed from all of those trends. It was just someone's wacky ass idea that somehow got made into a TV show, and thank fuck. Whoever's making this new film doesn't have any of that spontaneous Hillenburg flair. When they first came up with the character of Sandy, it was coming from this earnest place of just this ludicrous creativity. Sure, she's a Texan squirrel who lives underwater, but that's just a little funny idea. It's not supposed to be this whole shtick. It's this imaginative, quirky little idea, but this new film comes and milks this very basic joke. I don't care about this fucking stupid, retarded family. Like, I don't give a fuck. Get it out of my fucking face.
The rodent performs some acrobatics and spits fire to light the barbecue. Granny asks her to join the family again, but Sandy says that her love of science is greater than anything else.
Now, when it comes to the comedy of this film, i.e. the jokes, I don't really remember that many times where I was amused. SpongeBob himself is mainly just reduced to this pun dispenser. Like, sure, in the original SpongeBob run, he probably did have like some stupid puns that he'd do, but it wasn't all the time. But here, it's more or less all he's doing, and rarely did I feel like I was watching the same character from like season 1 and 2. Like, the golden era of SpongeBob. SpongeBob, the actual real SpongeBob. It's just a fucking facade of a great icon. Sure, this film isn't for me. I'm 25 years old, once again, Jesus Christ. This film is for whatever, toddlers. But as something that is made for that demographic, it is largely uncreative. Like, it's not one of the good ones. The original SpongeBob was something that captured the hearts of so many youngsters, and I don't think this new thing will do that to this new generation of kids. But whatever, I might be wrong, I don't know, because everyone loves Fortnite, don't they? I know toddlers don't need all this shit, like, just put any kind of brain rot, just put fucking colours up on screen, and they're sorted, like, that's fine. But there were things that I was shown as a kid, like SpongeBob or Toy Story, that have stayed with me because they are both entertaining but also artistically enriching, I would say. And I think that even at such a young age, art can still embed itself in you, in your brain, in your subconscious or whatever, if it is truly something that is profound. Anyway, enough of that pretentious shit. I do need to mention the animation style, which was odd, to say the least. So this is a 3D film, it isn't 2D anymore. I believe that was first done in Sponge Out of Water back in 2015. I think that's when that film came out. But originally, this conversion from 2D to 3D was done so that they could have the SpongeBob characters be in these real environments. They could have semi-feasible versions of them mixed in with live action settings and live action characters. And it has been a while since I watched Sponge Out of Water, but I don't remember that looking too bad. I believe it near enough worked for what that was trying to do. Like, the 3D animation and the live action was blended together well enough. But with this film, they don't put the same amount of effort into blending these two things together. So, quite honestly, it looks like shit when they do try and blend live action in with 3D animation. Scenes where SpongeBob and Sandy are supposedly in this photorealistic desert setting look utterly fake. It's like that Lion King reboot film, like, it's trying to look live action, but it's failing, and it's not even doing a good job at it, where what we actually get looks so bad, where we might as well just be back in 2D again. I don't even know how to describe it, because it's not even live action, some of these scenes, it's just something trying to be live action that is animated, that looks animated, so why even like try and do that in the first place? Just stick with like the animated look. Oh, I don't remember Sponge Out of Water looking anywhere near as bad as this. Like, I remember that being like fairly decent. Even when there isn't any live action photorealistic stuff at play, when it's just purely 3D animation, it still doesn't look good because the animation itself is janky and uncanny. It is objectively unpolished. Like, I'm not an animator, I've never animated anything in my life, but I just fucking know, like, that's not finished, that has not been done properly. All of the movements are janky, robotic, and stilted. It feels like AI, it feels like some AI, like, monstrosity. There's nothing fluid about what you're seeing, because all of the characters feel fake in their movements. It's honestly just horrific to look at. I don't want to see this algorithm bullshit with my SpongeBob. These characters aren't alive, and it's honestly thematically fitting because this is a formulaic piece of shit made by a bunch of soulless assholes. And that actually brings me to another point, which pertains to the villain of this movie and her whole evil plan. So the villain of this movie is played by Wanda Sykes, who I think was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I believe that's where I first saw her. But to make a long story short, she essentially wants to capture all of Bikini Bottom, all its inhabitants, and clone each and every one of them and sell them off as like products, essentially, like toys, pets, whatever. Squishy little things that kids can play with, and she's doing this all to make loads of money, but also because she just, it's a weird, I don't give a fuck about her motivation, but that's what she's trying to do. Now, I don't know if this film is aware of how ironic that is, to have your evil villain's main plan be this cynical mass reproduction of these initially wholesome characters, critters, taking SpongeBob iconography, making crass, empty versions of them in bulk and selling them at mass. That is exactly what this film is doing. It's robbing the identity out of these characters so they have mass appeal to make this thing marketable. You've created a husk of all of these things. Like, in that way, it's this genius meta David Lynch fucking commentary. Like, oh my god, I'm actually impressed. Fucking Trainspotting 2 Danny Boyle over here.
Which one is the real me? I don't even know who I am anymore.
Even the people who are making the newest SpongeBob films are getting meta. Jesus Christ. Honestly, like, this was just something that David Lynch did in Twin Peaks Season 3, and now everyone's doing it. What's going on?
SpongeBob realizes that those rodents are the members of Sandy's family and is proud to see them smash their enemies with a rock.
I've been very critical of this film in this video, so maybe it's time to talk about some positives. Okay, let's do that. To give the film credit, there was some weird shit in this, and what I mean by that is that SpongeBob is something that's always been known for its gross out, disturbing, absurdist jokes that are like, you're showing this to kids? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And there are a few jokes in this film that are of that irreverent vein, and I guess I appreciate that on some level. Like, I got a few chuckles maybe here and there. Made me laugh more than Deadpool 3. I fucking said that in my Letterboxd review already. I can't say that now. But you know what I mean. There is some really gnarly, creatively disgusting things, like imagery, that you can pick out from the original run of SpongeBob. And this film at least tries to insert some of that into this new piece. There's one joke in particular where you see a flashback of a child version of Tsunami, who's the villain again. And instead of it just being a child actor, it is the adult Tsunami's head crudely edited onto a child's body, and it is quite funny. Like, it looks like complete shit, but the fact that it looks so stupid and something out of a YTP makes it work. Like, I'm surprised that such imagery is in this film, like such a formulaic piece of crap. I was audibly chuckling at that visual. I was taken aback a little, and I'm happy for that at least. One instance where the awful, uncanny animation actually worked to the film's benefit. And honestly, that whole Tsunami character was probably the best part of the movie, because the actress seemed like she was having a fun time. She was like just goofing around. The film all in all feels like a point-and-click adventure video game. Like, this isn't part of the main SpongeBob canon. This just is non-essential shit. None of this matters. It's a low-budget 3D cartoon version of everything. Again, it's a pointless nothing burger, but SpongeBob films are supposed to be eventful. It's the SpongeBob movie. The SpongeBob movie. Like, it's supposed to be like, oh, the stakes are raised now. Anytime there is a movie of a TV show, it's supposed to be like, ooh, it's quite a big one now, it's really going to kick off. The original SpongeBob movie, which is by far the best SpongeBob film, like easily, holy crap. That film was monumental, like both to me as a kid, but also within the SpongeBob canon, because holy crap guys, Plankton's actually gone and done it. He's actually stolen the Krabby Patty formula. He's actually done it. Like, that is big news within the SpongeBob universe. That's something big. SpongeBob and Patrick have to go on this lengthy, scary journey where they undergo real adversity, like a fair degree of adversity. Like, Jordan Peterson would be like proud of the writers of that film. Mr. Krabs is gonna get killed. Plankton makes like a dictatorship. That's a perfect SpongeBob movie. The themes of that film as well are just a celebration of SpongeBob's childhood side, his childhood persona, and how it's okay to keep in touch with your childhood side as an adult. Like, there's value in that. Perfect film, perfect Hillenbergian fucking masterpiece. Shell City. Dennis was gonna fucking kill them. Do you understand? Scarlett Johansson's in it. Jeffrey Tambor is the fucking King Neptune. This is real. This is something big. SpongeBob gets fucking drunk on ice cream. Like, what an avant-garde decision that was. Honestly. That's better than South Park in terms of just pure irreverence. It's lemon-scented. Plan C can't possibly fail.
There. I think I made my point.
This is what I wanted to say. Ultimately, in this video, I wanted to say this, and I wanted to like hold off on saying it until the very end because it's a very trite kind of thing that everyone's saying about anything these days. But here goes. This film does not feel like SpongeBob. There, I said it, and it's true. It is true, and I believe I've justified that opinion throughout this video with all the points I've made. That this film is just objectively empty. It's objectively, on an objective level, it's a cash grab. I'm sorry guys, but it is. And you're gonna just have to suck my dick if you disagree with me, you fat fuck! The story's shite, the animation's shite, the jokes are forgettable, the characters feel hollow. You fucked it. You have completely fucked it. But apart from that, it was pretty good. Oh, God. Fucking hell, I kind of went turbo virgin on that one, didn't I? Like, oh my God. Angry incel. Oh, I'm really angry. A new piece of media that's ruined my childhood. Like, ultimately I don't really care. I just got excited because, you know, the camera's on and I'm like, you know, I'm doing a bit of a character, you know, the entertainment value. I don't really care. But with that being said, this is probably one of the most incel-y videos I've done so far. Like, I'm fucking pretty much in pyjamas. Like, I'm in shorts, t-shirt, fucking in my parents' house at what? 2:45 in the morning, ranting about Spongebob, a Spongebob movie, a fucking film for kids. At the end of the day, it is just some kind of, like, it's a piece of air, and I don't really care. Like, if I wasn't reviewing stuff, I'd have forgotten it in like no time. Maybe had one conversation with a friend, like, oh, do you see that Spongebob movie? It's a bit weird, wasn't it? Yeah, kind of just whatever. It's just kind of a piece of shit, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you want to get some drinks? End of story. So if you were going to watch this film, do not. Instead, you should go onto YouTube and type in YTP Deliver Us. It is the best SpongeBob YTP out there. It's very artistic and avant-garde, dare I say. And yeah, I think that's got some cool shit in there. Probably have to watch a re-upload though, because there's some edgy stuff in that. And remember to fucking subscribe. That's the end of the video. I hope you've all enjoyed. Special thanks to my first ever Patreon member. So his name on that is Dickfuck. So thanks for that sophisticated name readout you've made me do. That is really funny that the first one I've done, the first one I have to do is just Dickfuck. Yeah, shout out to Dickfuck. Like, honestly. I hope you're having a nice day, and remember, this is all just hyperbolic. Like, this isn't a true representation of people's mentality. It's just, you know, I didn't want you to like leave this video with a negative, angry attitude. Just you know, it's all just a bit of a laugh. You know, who cares? It's all just silly. It's a silly film, whatever. Silly video. Goodbye. Bye.